Hello, friends. Welcome to the first episode of the Journal of a Female CEO. My name is Ejibola Taiwo, a banker turned entrepreneur. My friends call me the Retail Queen. Every Thursday, you're going to get a new episode live on the Ejibola YouTube channel. Before we get deeper into the topic of today, I just wanted us to know that the month of January is always a very tricky one because the first 2 weeks you are not really in that mood for work, or you're just getting out of the holiday, the festive season, the excitement, the joy of seeing families and creating memories together. The first 2 weeks is always like, very slow. You don't get lots of emails coming through into your inbox. You do not send a lot of emails either. And then the third week, you start getting responses, from partners, from stakeholders. You are now ready to grind, to get going. So January is always very tricky, and it takes like 2-3 weeks away from you. But then guess what? There's a lot you can do in January. There's a lot you can do in the next few days remaining in January. Today, we're going to be looking at the checklist for small business success in 2024. But before we get into that, I just wanted you to see what my business journal, what it looks like. So this is my business journal. Yes, it is that huge. It's huge. It contains a lot for 365 days. I usually bring out one of this every year, and I write in it. So it serves me a lot throughout the year. So what do I have in my journal today regarding the checklist for Small Business Success 2024? Coming in as number 1, review the past year financial performance. Yes, that's what I do at the beginning of the new year. I look at my past performance from the last year. I want to see what worked, what didn't work, the ones that worked, what did I do differently, what month gave me the highest result. I want to see the month that brought me the highest of revenues. Was it the month of the Black History Month? Was it the month for International Women's Day? Was it the month of Mother's Day, Father's Day, Easter, Christmas? I want to see what's the performance in each of those months during each of those holiday period or festive seasons or special months. I want to be able to understand what I did differently to bring in such revenue to the company. So you need to do that. I do that every time the beginning of the year. This helps you to also plan for the new year, because if the month for the Black History brought me the highest revenue, I want to be able to go back to my journal, my last year journal, to see what exactly did I do differently. Did I do some collaboration? Did I do some partnership? Did I do some, subscription boxes? What exactly promoted that increase in my revenue during that Black History Month? If it was the Christmas season, I want to understand what I did differently. What did my team do differently? Did we give ourselves a particular target? Did we, partner up with an organization? Did a big organization buy into our product during the holiday seasons for their staff? What exactly brought about that increase in revenue? That is the reason why that is my number 1 on my checklist, because the success of last year is what I can duplicate this year 2024 and even make it better. Number 2, review and update of business plan. As you know, the business plan is a living document. It is subject to change. You can change, update at any time based on where you are with your business, based on where you want to see yourself going in the new year, in the future. So that is number 2 on my list. I bring out my business plan. I look at everything that I have there. What is my growth strategy? Did it change? Is it changing in this new year? If it is changing, then I update my business plan to include what I have planned up for that growth strategy. If I am going to be seeking funding, And I need that business plan to include what I had achieved last year, or what the business or where the business is right now at the level of growth. I want to be able to show that to the banker, to the funder, to let them see that we are performing well, that we are doing it right. So every year on my checklist, number 2, I review and I update my business plan. Is there a new partner that I'm bringing on board? What's the job of that partner? How will that partner elevate or improve the performance of the business? I include it in the business plan because being a former banker, of course, this is what I love to look out for. This is what I love to see. Am I buying a new equipment? Getting a new equipment might increase my inventory production, my scale up my production into mass, thereby reducing my current selling price, retail price, and getting me into more places in the retail space. I need to include that so that the banks can see the level of growth that I have achieved and where I need to go and where my vision is for growth in the current year. Number 3, I review and I update my employee handbook and business policies. Yes, this is so important for those of us that have got 1 or 2 employees working for us, whether they are contracts, whether they are part-time, whether they are full-time staff. You need to review and update the employee handbook. Man, when I started having 2 staff on my team, it was a new experience for me. That was when we had to develop an employee handbook. If you don't have one, don't worry. This is the time to develop one. You can sit with a business lawyer, or you could speak with your accountant. In my case, I spoke with my accountant, I spoke with my business lawyer, I spoke with my directors on what they felt makes a good employee handbook and business policy. Business policy regarding health and safety, business policies regarding first aid, even at the workplace. Everything I included. Just because we had a new space, I had new employees, I had to have all of those policies and rules and procedures in writing. And that really helped me to onboard my new staff. It's a very good tool to onboard new employees into the company. It gives you that business structure that you need to show to your new staff that you are well established. So review your employee handbooks, whether you need to add vacation policy, sick leave policy. I'm looking into my journal, so that's acceptable. Pay stuff, any information regarding confidentiality, dealing with your business partners, or policies regarding photos and video usage. You need to have all of this written down in your company guide, policies and procedures, and also have a good employee handbook that you can use in onboarding your new staff. All right. Number 4, review your insurance coverage. What kind of coverage do you have for your business? Are you operating out of your home, out of your basement, and now you've gotten a space of your own? You need to review that insurance coverage that you have for your brand, for your company. Are you moving from a smaller space to now a bigger commercial, space? You need to review. Are you now dealing with big box stores, getting your product into places like Loblaws, Sobeys, Superstore, Walmart? You need to review that insurance coverage just so you know that you are covered in case of any incident or pandemic or eventualities that we do not watch out for. You want to make sure that your insurance covers you and you are well protected for the year and in the future. Number 5, yes, checklist number 5, review contracts and make sure that they are up to date. This is for those of us that have partners that we're working with, or you're working with some vendors, or you've got collaboration, working contracts memorandum of understanding with an organization. You want to go through and make sure that it's up to date with the new plan for the year. Perhaps the MOU you wrote last year was for certain tasks to be done, and based on your recent meeting with your partner or your organizational collaborator, you've added more tasks to the contract. You want to make sure that the MOU is updated to reflect that, so that you are well protected. Everybody's responsibilities and duties are well spelled out in that updated contract or MOU. Number 6, I usually would evaluate current technology and see if there is any way I need to update my tech apps or whatever I'm using to get my business rolling and running effectively. My website sits on Wix, and I make sure what's new with Wix, what's the new update on Wix, how can I use this new update to better improve my own website and customer experience for my client. You need to be up to date with, maybe you use a digital payment wallet like Stripe. You want to be up to date with whatever updates they've got, whatever that is going on at their hand that can improve your own performance. You really want to be on top of things and get updated on your tech. Perhaps you don't even have a website now. Not to worry, this year is the year you should get started. Perhaps it's a 1-pager website, 2-pager, 3-pager. Make sure you have a digital presence. Make sure you are on the www, because that is the only way people can get to know about you. That's the only way people can get to understand what your business is all about. That's the way people can get connected with you. So review your tech and see if there is anywhere you need to have an update. Yes, that is what I do. I look at this every year. I want to know, should I still continue with MailChimp, or do I still go ahead and change to Flowdesk, for example? You want to check that. You want to see, okay, I've been using Canva. How well has Canva served me as a tech app? Should I continue using that? You really want to know. Perhaps you're using a new technology, the artificial intelligence. What type of artificial intelligence app do you want to incorporate for your brand? Yes, this is the time to review all those tech apps and see which one will work for you and get started on it. Number 7 on the checklist, what does your brand strategy plan look like this year? Do you have a budget to support your marketing strategy plan or your goals? If you do not, or have not considered looking into that, I think this month, the remainder of the days we've got in January, is a good start for you to look into what would the brand marketing strategy look like? What is my goal? What am I trying to achieve with this branding marketing? Do we want to have Instagram ads? Do we want to have Facebook, YouTube ads? You really want to talk about that with your team and look at the budget. Can you afford it? If you can afford it, why not? And you also want to write down what results you are aiming to get from investing so much in that branding marketing strategy and putting so much money into it. So what does that look like for me? I look at how can I work even with my vendors, even with my clients, even with my partners. How can we work together and split that branding marketing strategy budget so that they are also invested in the growth of my business? Yes, whenever I deal with a new partner, whenever I'm dealing with a new organization, I look at what would the marketing strategy look like? How do we promote this program? How do we, push out this product? How will this work? What will be the logistics? So when I'm speaking with a partner, for example, the retail store, I consider what will be the distribution logistics. If I'm to put products and send out to distribution centers that are in 5 provinces. How will that look like? I put that as part of my brand marketing strategy, because guess what? I could always collaborate with UPS or DHL and come up with something that would work for me, and in return I could have my brand being exposed under their platform. So whatever strategy you're thinking about, whatever means of promoting your brand and giving it the exposure that you're considering this year, I need you to always attach a dollar value to it. What will it cost you? If it's not going to cost you anything, then that's good. If it's going to cost you something, I need you to check it. Is it in line with your finances? At number 8 on my checklist, I review the performance of strategic partners and vendors. Which of my partners whom I worked with the previous year am I bringing on board again, and why am I bringing them on board? Which of my vendors that I worked with last year, why am I bringing them back on? Or who am I taking off the list? Why am I taking them off the list? This is a critical moment for you to really review and see who will journey with you in 2024. Who is that partner that you need for that growth strategy that you've written at the very beginning of your checklist? Remember, you've got a goal for the year. You've got a target for the year. So which of the partners from last year is coming with you this year in achieving that target you've given yourself in 2024? Which of the vendors that you've worked with last year is coming with you this year, 2024, to achieve that goal, that target, that outcome that you're looking for at the end of the year? You need to review that. You need to take a look at their performance. You need to take a look at their contribution. You need to take a look at what it costs you working with them on project or bringing them on board of your brand. If it's costing you too much to have a partner, you might want to reconsider that. But if it's not costing you much, but the benefit outweighs the cost, why not continue? Review how you can even make that partnership better. All right? At number 9, what I usually do is I look at the new clients I'm bringing on board. Usually the last quarter of the previous year, I try to convert new clients. I try to see if I can get new clients coming in for the first quarter of the new year. If I'm getting new clients coming in, then I need to understand, do I need staffing requirement? Do I need to hire a new person to take on the new clients I'm bringing on? If I'm bringing in 3, 4, 5 new clients, that's extra task, extra jobs that we're bringing on board. Do I need to hire 1 or 2 new people? How soon do I need to start hiring? Who do I hire? A contract, part-time, full-time staff? This is the time I need to, review that and consider if I need to bring 1 more person or 2 more people on board. If I really do not need to bring anyone on board, I look at what I need to do to satisfy that new client that is joining the brand, that is joining the company, and the responsibility on my part, on the client's part, that would make that relationship work better. I review this at the beginning of the year because I'm somebody that wants to know, okay, how will my first quarter look like? How many clients do I have in my books to serve? How many partners are coming on board? How do I satisfy their needs? How do we meet? How do we meet to give updates, to regularly review the performance of whatever programs or projects that they are coming on board to join me on? So this is very critical. If you're bringing new partners on board of a new project, or you're getting more clients in, if you're in the service business, you're getting more, perhaps you're a consultant and now you have 5 new clients, you need to consider, have that staffing capability. If you don't, you might want to consider hiring one or two. Will that be on contract, like I said? Yes. All this you need to put into your planning. Number 10, something for you to consider. Are you planning to expand out of your province? Yes. Why do you have to consider this on your checklist? Most people are registered, they are incorporated within a particular province. For example, they are incorporated within Alberta. Now they want to spread their wings and operate within 3, 4, 5 more provinces within Canada. You might want to reconsider your incorporation where you are licensed to operate. You need to visit the licensing center to talk to them about that. You might want to consider federally incorporated so that you can operate in any part of Canada and you don't have to be paying for extra provincial, incorporation. I think that is good if you are planning to go into 2, 3, 4 provinces beyond your province, beyond where you currently operate. Consider the federal to be federally incorporated. That saves you a lot of time and energy incorporating in each provinces. Just go federally incorporated. That would save you a lot of time. Number 11, do you have a board of director? Yes, do you have board of director? This is something you should put on your checklist and get done this year. It's always very good to have board of directors. The reason I say this is they come with their own expertise, they come with their own knowledge, they come with their own networking and connection that can help your brand grow and scale. You need people that are subject matter experts that have gone ahead of you to be on your board. You're starting a business that you've never walked that path before. I haven't walked this path before, and I need subject matter experts, people that have done well in their industry or in the industry I want to expand into. I try to get someone from that industry to join my board of directors because I know that they come with tons of expertise, knowledge, their network and connection. So if you do not have a board of directors set up for your brand, this year is the year you should think about setting one up. You don't need 10. You could start with 2, 3, 4. That will get you started. That will get you going. Do that for this year, and then you can grow and increase the number in the following year. But you need to get started with getting a board of director. Do not consider yourself small as a brand. I would tell any startup, I would tell any entrepreneur, get started with a board of director right from day one that you start your business. They come in with good resource for you. They are good resource to help you walk that path quicker and faster, getting the right resources, getting the right tools, getting the right information across to you. The board of directors have helped me to achieve this, and I need you to consider that in this year 2024. I hope all the tips that I've shared today on my checklist on how to have a successful small business in 2024 was useful and valuable. Put in a comment section which of this will you be executed? Will you be taken on and add into your own checklist to make your year a successful one? My name again, Ejibola, the Retail Queen. I'll see you again next week for another exciting episode of the Journal of the Female CEO.